Hello and welcome to part 2 of this video, and in this video we are going to be going off to Nuremberg for the day and then later on going to Innsbruck. So time to go to Nuremberg. Guess we go down this way. It's quite warm in here. Oh, it's an old... Yep, this is the train we're getting. Packed in like sardines, as you say. So, we're going to Bahn up here. So we just follow those signs and then we'll find our train for Nuremberg. There's a lot. Okay, so my big problem is finding a departure board which actually tells you what platform we're supposed to use. So these are your main platforms here, and there's no central departure boards anywhere. So we've got this up here. No, that's just for the S trains. So I do not have too much knowledge about how to get it. You know, as soon as you get into a where. That's 7:40. We want 8:43. So, and it's what? The time is now 8:22 and 7:40 showing up. That's not a good sign. Okay. We've got signs on each platform telling you what departure it is. That's the 7:40, but I do not know where the 8:43 train is. So, very not. Yeah, I don't like it here. Okay, so on my online ticket, it tells you what the Gleis number is, which is 22. So we're up to Gleis 22 here, 8:43, I-724. So we go here, and it shows you that we've got I-724. So this is the platform we want, and as you can see, there's no train. So we'll just go along here. I do like their trains. I think they're pretty smart looking. So Munchen Hauptbahnhof is a terminal train station as far as the regional and intercity trains are concerned. I think we want to be further towards the front, I guess. But I think it's going to be a busy train looking at it. That's for sure. Yes, I have to say, their departure signs on each station, they're very well spaced apart. That one over there, can't read, even with my glasses on. And that one over there is even further away. We could do with probably double the number of departure board signs, just to make it easier. So this is what's arrived on the other platform just now. That arrived just a moment ago. And now here comes our train. So we've got a perfect rush on the platform. I do have to say they look like lovely trains, that's for sure. Rachel, this looks like first class. That's why they're moving up. Oh no, we've got second class here, that's fine. I think we should use this one. That one. In here, Rachel. Welcome to your seat. Lots of leg room. So the distance between Munich and Nuremberg is about 170 kilometers. For comparison, in our own country, that's the same distance as driving from my house to Ullapool. That's a distance of about 3 hours, but on the train here, it was just over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes. So up until Ingolstadt, which is about halfway between the two cities, the train was running about 155 kilometers an hour, but beyond Ingolstadt, the train speed went up to 295 kilometers an hour, and that's a very nice speed to be traveling at. It's very civilized indeed.
Verrechnet Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof, der Ausstieg hier in Fahrtrichtung links. Vielen Dank und auf Wiedersehen im ICE.
There we go. Right. Here we are. Nuremberg. Plenty of fast food restaurants here. Even your favourite, Rachel, Mickey D's.
I know, I wouldn't mind the coffee actually.
You've got a whole shopping mall here as well, brothers. Rachel, look at this. Look at this. Deutsche Bahn Museum.
No, I've done one already.
No, you're not going to Deutsche Bahn Museum. Oh dear. So you come out of this station. I think there's two choices to cross the road. One is to wait at the traffic lights. I think I always prefer taking the U-Bahn just to cross the road. Rachel doesn't want to be on camera for this, but does anybody know if you can get a sausage softie or a bacon roll in a German city? Rachel wants some coffee and a bacon roll or a sausage softie. So after the underpass, here we are in Nuremberg. So go straight into the old part of the city. No shortage of fruit, Rachel. So we are going to be walking to the Palace of Justice in Nuremberg, and this was where the trials were held after the Second World War. We had this walking tour in Munich. It was a walking tour about the ascension of the Third Reich. That was really a very good walking tour. Of course, I can't really film that whilst we're doing the tour, but definitely worth looking it up if you're in Munich. So another U-Bahn disguised as a historical tower. So here we've got another major street junction, so take the U-Bahn again. some of the suburbs of Nuremberg. Okay, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday is closed. Okay, so that is when it is closed. So we can't learn about these things inside, we just have to learn about them outside. So we kind of wasted our time. So there's nothing of historical interest in the main Justice Palace. It is only for existing proceedings. All the historical proceedings are in the memoriam, which is closed on a Tuesday, which is a bit of a disappointed. We walked 35 minutes to come out here. We're going to save some time by taking the U-Bahn back again. So this is the suburb near the Justice Palace, and then we'll head into the U-Bahn. This is the old canal. So this is your old bridge right here. So this is looking the other direction. Something tells me it's 12 o'clock. You want to do this railway thing, do you, Rachel?
Where's the museum there?
It's about 10 minutes away. Okay, so we've decided to take the city train.
Supervised the work. At the time, it was the largest wall and ceiling painting in Europe. The important European long-distance train routes passed through Nuremberg.
I feel like we've been here before. Since we've arrived.
This is the main shopping street, I think. So we're going this way past Zara, Rachel. So this is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights commemoration in 10th of December 1948. So each one of these columns represents one article out of the 27 articles for the Convention of Human Rights. I think that's right, isn't it, Rachel?
There's that one, equality before the law.
Equality before the law. So this is the German National Museum. So we're just going to go in here and have a browse. There we go. So there's the Deutsches Museum in Munich, and I didn't do any filming in there. I was a little bit exhausted after the first day. And that museum is completely different to this one. So Deutsches Museum is all about many contemporary matters in Germany, in particular focusing on engineering and science. This museum, the Germanische Museum, is all about paintings and artifacts from the Middle Ages, and very, very different subject matter indeed. I'm going to have to say, looking at a lot of the paintings, it is quite unpleasant how times were back then. So feel privileged to live in the time that we're in right now. I really need to improve on my negotiation skills and convince Rachel that the Deutsche Bahn Museum would have been a better option. Got an inner quadrangle for the museum. So here is, we're walking back to the train station. This is an example of the city walls of Nuremberg. On the right side we've got the central road which goes up to the railway station. And in the middle, well, we've got this nice walkway away from the traffic. So, top tip, if your train is delayed more than 20 minutes on a saver or super saver ticket, you have the right to take any train to your final destination. So, I'm booked on the 1755 train. That is delayed until 1910. So what we have is another train. It's a 1733 train to München, and that's going to be arriving at 1821. So we have been advised we should take this train instead of the one which is now delayed to 1910. So that is in the terms and conditions. I was looking at the terms and conditions. They weren't particularly clear, but I spoke to a ticket advisor, and that's what they have told me. You can see lots of trains are delayed, and the trouble you've got with German intercity railways is that it is all too often the case that everything is delayed substantially, you know, like over an hour late. So these trains are coupled and they split. So the train on the right is going to Vienna, and the train on the left is going to Munich, but it's going the long way round via Augsburg. So, be interested to see how this works. Like that. Okay. So that takes off. And there we go. So, lesson learned. Always make sure you're in the right carriages for your final destination. You like the trip to Nuremberg?
Just a pity.
Yeah, just a pity. So 2 bags to grab with 2 hands, so let's get on with it. Onwards to the hire car place. We're off to Innsbruck now. Well, here we are in Garmisch. This is what we got in Munich. A big SUV, and again, just like the SUV we rented in Norway, you have to lower the seats in order to get 2 pieces of luggage in, which is a bit annoying. We paid for a Ford Fiesta and we got this. Now, a brief update for the end of October. My dispute with Hertz is ongoing, but I have taken the matter to my credit card company, and they have told me that if they haven't heard from Hertz for 30 days, then I get my money back. So we shall see what happens next, but there will be a follow-up video to all of this in the future. So here we are in the middle of Garmisch, and the rivers are tinged green, and that's your glacial water which comes off the mountains. So this is on the east side of the railway line. So quite a few shopping streets. But it seems like the older stuff is just beyond the railway bridge. Hotel Garmischer Hof. We're not staying here at all. There's a further shopping street down here, so maybe I'm doing Garmisch an injustice by saying it's dominated by cars. Yeah, there are some car-free streets you can go down. So one thing I will say is that parking and driving in Innsbruck, in general terms, it's a devil. But you do have public transport options, And apparently our accommodation comes with free public transport for Innsbruck. So my plan is to dump the car in Innsbruck. We're off to the Alpine Zoo now, so it's a good option. One note of caution, parking here, coins only. No credit, debit cards, no apps, just coins. So I'm guessing some people are going to be caught out by that. €3 for 3 hours. So it's not outrageous, but in a cashless society, that can be problematic. So we arrived in Innsbruck in the afternoon, and it was very nice, pleasant weather, 21 degrees, hazy sunshine, but it was the last time we were going to see the sunshine for some time. The next 3 days in Innsbruck was constant rain of varying degrees of intensity. Now, the Alpine Zoo is apparently the highest zoo in Europe, about 700 meters altitude. I'm sure that is absolutely nothing compared to zoos that might exist in the middle of America, such as in Denver, if there is a zoo there, for example. But it is a fascinating place to go and visit. The European brown bear is of particular interest to Rachel, and gonna have to say, when you've got the glass partition wall, they do come right up to you. They look quite cute from a distance, but when they are right up against your face, they look quite formidable. Well, we're here the next day in the Stubai Valley, which is to the south of Innsbruck, and we're going to be heading up this valley here. It's called the Pinnistal Valley. I've been here about 20 years ago, almost precisely 20 years ago. Beautiful weather back then, but not today, and not tomorrow, and not Saturday when we're heading back to Munich. So we're going to be, we're just doing a wet weather day up an easy track going up the middle of that valley. This is what it's like near the end of the public road. So, 20 years ago, Innsbrucker Hütte, 2,369 meters. That's where I went on my first Stubai overnight hut. 4 hours from here, walking, and it was a lovely time, I remember. So we're getting close to the point where we're going to have to turn back. Meadows are opening up. You can see the snow's not too far above where we are right now in terms of snow on the ground, but snow in the air. Yeah, it's definitely sleeting. So the meadows open up a little bit like that. You can see a bit of snow on the scree up in the mountains here. One thing that has occurred to me, the grey tinge to the water, I don't think is glacial. I think it's solute from limestone, and because I don't think in this valley we've got any glaciers. So further up there is a big boulder that's split in two, and we've only got about 7 minutes left before we have to turn back and get to our car before the pay and display runs out, which is a bit of a pest.
Doing the cowbell dance.
You're doing the cowbell dance?
Yeah. Right.
Hello.
Can you get a picture on your phone, honey? Hello, we don't want to speak to you. You've not got no cowbells. Well, there's the lady here. You're very beautiful, but you don't have a cowbell. Why have you not got a cowbell? Where's your cowbell? Is it? It's a very
Nice to see you.
One.
Yes, you're very friendly, aren't you? You've been busy eating, haven't you? Oh, hello.
1, 2, 3, you haven't paid the rent, the ferry man to take my food.
Yeah.
2984.
I wonder if there's a tax to be charged here. So here we are, middle of Innsbruck. It's quite silty. I think this is glacial water. I don't think this is limestone solute. I think this is rock flour which comes out of glaciers. Flows all the way into the Black Sea, one of the famous rivers in Europe. So we've been on the, we've got an apartment on the north side of Innsbruck, which I'll show you later on. It's about 1.5 kilometers away from the town centre, down a hill from the apartment, and of course up the hill in the other direction. We're just going to take a walk into the middle of town and see what that's like on this rainy day. So of course things are a little bit different in Austria compared to Germany. The road signs are slightly different and the parking areas are very different as well. So for example, these cars here, they have white markings. You're not supposed to park in white markings unless you've got an actual parking permit for those white markings. There are other places which have got blue markings, and the blue markings are for anybody to use up to a maximum of 90 minutes or 180 minutes with payment of a fee. Not too sure what this street is. Is there a street name anywhere? I can't see a street name anywhere, but it looks kind of cool. So whilst we explore the streets of Innsbruck in this footage, the next day we did explore the Hofburg Palace in Innsbruck. Sadly though, no photographs were allowed, but the entrance fee is about 10 euros. Well worth a visit during a rainy day in Innsbruck. So this is Herzog Friedrichstraße. So that's where we've just been. Very attractive. That's quite a nice building. Maria Theresienstraße. So this is a typical example. In fact, this is the street we drive up to get to our apartment. Quite narrow. Here comes a car. So, wide enough, but if you've got two cars meeting each other, it becomes a bit of a challenge. So that's the main street, and this is our little side street. Again, this is not a driveway, this is a drivable street. A bit narrow, as you can see. And then this is the entrance to the apartment that we're renting, paying about, all told, £160 a night for it. So it's all self-service. They tell you how to park at the end when it's busy. And you can see they encourage guests to block each other in, so a bit of a pest, but in here, that's our entrance, that's the other entrance. Put the lights on, and down we go. So it's one bedroom, plus a living room, plus a kitchen, plus other bits and pieces. Well, we got kitchen, living room, bathroom, bedroom, and then if it wasn't raining and it was warm, we could enjoy our own private balcony. So we are back in Munich. It was quite wet yesterday, the day before yesterday, and the day before that. So to be quite frank, not too much to film in Innsbruck. Journey in our hire car, honestly, it's not too fun. driving around Innsbruck in particular. The street's very narrow when we had this massive tank of a car. And just not being too familiar with the road signage and road parking conventions in Innsbruck. Additionally, we had really cheap tyres on this car. There's a brand called Gitti, and our wheels were spinning, just pulling away from traffic lights and going up a 16% gradient. Our drive wheels were spinning, which did not lend much confidence. But here we are, it's sunny again, and we're going to the Brandhorst Museum, and it's our last day. And this is a modern art museum. I think it's Andy Warhol.
Well, some Andy Warhol, some pieces, but there's other modern art as well.
Yep, so went the wrong way, so we had to turn right at the tram stop instead of left. So we are now here at the Brandhorst Museum. So, very colourful building, and we'll head in. I think this museum is very complementary it's a very complementary museum to the Banksy museum that we did previously. So definitely worth having a look at this one with Andy Warhol. Yes, actually on reflection, I think I'll take that back. Banksy really is relevant. I think a lot of people can relate to Banksy's work. Andy Warhol's work, a lot more abstract in my opinion. And sadly, I have to say a lot of modern art needs explanatory text in order to understand it. But at least it only costs €1 to enter the museum on a Sunday. So, from an art point of view, do you prefer Campbell's soup or Tesco value soup?
Campbell's soup.
Campbell's soup. But we didn't see any Campbell's soup here.
No, it was disappointing. We didn't see the cat or the cow either.
No. So, I think the Banksy exhibition was definitely the better one.
It was good. It was good. There was a few Warhol pieces, but they weren't the classic ones that I would like to have seen.
No.
So, yeah, Banksy was better. You're right. I'm away to take a picture of the building.
And I'm away to take a picture of this flying saucer here. Okay, so it doesn't look like a flying saucer to me, actually. There's no middle flange around the central axis. But if you want a flying saucer sound, I guess the reversing sound in a Tesla Model 3 would be what you need to go for. So, near to the Brandhorst Museum, we've got the Architecture Museum. And then we've got the Classic Paintings Museum over here. But from the end...
They probably would have liked better.
You think so? I'm not too sure. I mean, the Germanische Museum was kind of...
Yeah, but there'll be lots of Italian. I prefer Italian paintings are good.
Italian paintings are good? Yeah, okay. Well, I have to say that was 1 week and 2 days in Munich, Nuremberg and Innsbruck. And I have to say it felt like quite a full week. It felt like we did quite a lot of stuff. But now it is time to travel back home to Aberdeen. That's a KLM flight departing about 5 o'clock in the evening, and it arrives back in Aberdeen at about 11 in the evening time. Well, that is the end of our Munich trip. So here we are back in Aberdeen. It's just before midnight, and in about 6 hours and 20 minutes time, I'm taking a taxi straight back out to Aberdeen Airport, off on my way to Munich. No, not Munich, off on my way to Norway for work assignments. So, hope you found that holiday in Munich interesting, and I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon.